Hey, kia ora and talofa geniuses. It is the 1st of April, and while the rest of the world is busy playing pranks, falling for big pivots, and getting lost in all of the marketing hype of April Fool's Day, we're actually going to talk a little bit about the most serious evolution of our time, which is the intersection of your biology, nervous system, and the rapid acceleration of artificial intelligence. Now, we're kind of currently witnessing a global phenomenon, and the researchers are calling this new thing AI anxiety. In a recent study from the American Psychological Association found that nearly 40%, they said 40% of workers are worried about AI replacing their jobs, because the deeper issue that isn't just about losing jobs, it's also about this cognitive overload. So our human brains were not evolved to process information that is at the same speed of a computer or a GPU. And when you stare at a screen, scrolling through an endless feed of AI generated content, your brain actually enters a state of high beta brainwave activity. And this is a state of hyper arousal. So it's the biological equivalent of being like hunted by a predator, except the predator is like a glowing rectangle that's in your hand. So there's a specific medical term that I want you to understand today, and it's called screen apnea. So research by a lady named Linda Stone discovered that 80% of people stop breathing or take very shallow breaths when checking their emails or interacting with digital tools. So just think about that. You're literally starving your brain of oxygen while you're trying to make high-level business decisions. Okay, so this triggers a massive spike in your cortisol and in your adrenaline, and you're not just stressed, you're psychologically suffocating your own creativity. So this is why we've got to prioritize our human intelligence over artificial intelligence. And AI can synthesize the data, but it cannot synthesize your intuition. So it can generate text, but it cannot generate your mala, like your essence, right? And that's your force. That's like the thing that's stored inside your nervous system. So for those of you who don't know me, my name is Jazz. I'm the creator of Digital Warriors, and I help creative entrepreneurs focus on their health first before their business and their brand. I believe that you need a regulated nervous system, because if you don't have a regulated body, then you don't have a sustainable business. So we're here to bridge the gap between your internal biology and the external technology that's trying to run your life. So if you're feeling the weight of the digital world and you want to learn more about your legacy without selling your soul or selling your digital health or even your own health, I want you to join our community. You can go to school.com/digital, that's SKOOL.com, and that's where we do all of the work there, and you can learn more about what it is that we do here. So let's just have a look at the science of the exhale reset, and that's what we teach in Sacred Systems. So Stanford University researchers led by Dr. Andrew Huberman, I love that guy, he actually found out that the psychosocial sigh, which is the double inhale followed by a long extended exhale, is the fastest real-time method to eliminate screen apnea. So by extending that exhale, you're actually physically signaling to your vagus nerve to slow down your heart rate, and you're moving from the sympathetic hustle into a parasympathetic heal state. And you can do that within 60 seconds. That's just 1 minute. And that's how you can actually maintain your balance. So we don't want to just do the work, we regulate while we're actually working. But the excitement actually lies in the agentic commerce. So that's the ability for AI to handle the mundane so that we can really return back to what's sacred. So you just imagine a world where your AI handles all of your scheduling, your data, your entry, and your basic like tech stack, leaving you with 4 hours a day to sit. You can sit in your deep work, you can move your body, you can exercise, you can connect with your community. And that's the kind of lifestyle that you want to be living. But you'll never reach that state if you're addicted to the dopamine loops of the digital world. So it's what's important that we've got to talk about the dopamine cortisol loop. Every time you get a notification, you get a little tiny hit of dopamine. It's like ding, ding, and I'm like, who is it? Let's have a look and check our notification. This actually fires your prefrontal cortex, and that's a part of your brain that's responsible for human intelligence. And we need to stay ahead of AI. So if you cannot focus more than 10 minutes without checking your phone, you're already being outperformed by a basic algorithm. Okay, so I'm going to repeat that. If you cannot focus more than 10 minutes without checking your phone, you're already being outperformed by a basic algorithm. Right? Now, sacred systems is your biological firewall. We use box breathing to create a state of coherence. So when your heart rate and your breath are in sync, your brain enters a state of alpha flow. And this is where the high ticket packages are created. This is where the legacy warrior vision comes from. You can't see a legacy through a fog, and you can't see a legacy if you've got a fried nervous system as well. So I really like neuroplasticity, because the research into neuroplasticity shows that we can actually rewire our brains into a more resilient state to this digital stress that we're having to deal with. And by practicing the micro movements that we teach, like getting up every 30 minutes to reset your spine and your visual field, you're preventing the digital stagnation. So when you stare at a screen, your eyes are locked in, and you can get locked into a convergent gaze, and this is biologically linked to the stress response. So by simply just looking out the window, or looking at the horizon, that's what we call, the panoramic vision, you're instantly lowering your amygdala's alert system. This is a free biological hack that most entrepreneurs ignore while they spend thousands on productivity apps. So staring at the beautiful sun out into the horizon. What we're also seeing arise in the digital world is digital loneliness. So even though we're more connected than ever, it's interesting because the quality of our connections are actually thinning. So AI can mimic a conversation, but it cannot mimic the sacred frequency of a live corridor, that live one-on-one conversation. And that's why our community calls, our non-negotiables when it comes to this, because we're social animals, our nervous systems, they co-regulate with one another. And when you're in a room, even a digital one, with other regulated warriors, your own system begins to settle. And this is the network effect of healing. So as we move into the rest of the year, the gap between the regulated and the reactive, that will actually become the canon. The reactive will be the ones complaining that AI took its jobs and that it ruined their health. But the regulated, the digital warriors, they'll be the ones who use AI to buy back their time. They'll use it so that the time to deepen our human ways actually increases. And inside our premium classroom, we actually go a little bit deeper into your biology of branding. So we look at how your internal state can actually dictate the vibe of your content. So if you record a video while you're in a state of screen apnea, like we spoke about before, your audience will feel that tension, even if they can't name it. But when you speak from a regulated, grounded place, your authority is undeniable. So we also look at the AI human workflow, like how you actually set up your day so that the AI is doing the beta work while you're doing the alpha work. And we look at specific case studies of entrepreneurs who have cut their work by 50% while doubling their income as well. So simply by implementing sacred type systems in their rituals every day, because it's not just about work-life balance. That's like an old broken concept. This is really about biological integration. It's about recognizing that you are a biological being living in a digital environment, okay? You wouldn't be a tropical plant in the desert and expect to be able to thrive without a system, right? You're like that plant. The digital world is the desert, and your sacred system is your irrigation, okay? That's your shade. That's your nutrient-dense soil. So I want you to think about the 1st of April Now, there's a day for fools, but there's a day for the wise fool, the one who is willing to look at the world very differently. While everybody else is chasing the next shiny AI tool, I want you to chase the next deep break. While everyone else is trying to vibe code their way to millions of dollars, I want you to vibe regulate your way to a sustainable legacy. Okay, the fear of AI is really a fear of losing ourselves. But the more you anchor into your body, through these practices of thyself, you can actually bring something to the table. And you actually become a beacon of stability in the world of chaos, because people will be drawn to you not just because of what you know, but because of how you feel. And in an AI world, presence is the new currency. And you can't live in presence if you're stuck in your head worrying about the future, okay? So we're balancing the ancient wisdom from our ancestors who knew how to sit in silence, they knew how to move with the earth, and they knew how to breathe with the seasons, with the modern tech of what we're going through in this world today. This is the warrior's path. It's a path of discipline. It's the path of choosing what is best over what is easy. And so if you're still watching this video, then I know that you're feeling the call. You know that the way that you've been working is probably not sustainable. You know that your body is keeping score of your stress. So I'm inviting you to stop being a digital victim, okay, and start being more of a digital warrior. You can come and join us at skool.com. That's skool.com/digital. Come and join us. And for our premium members, stay tuned. We're about to dive into that 30-minute reset protocol that you can use after that long session of AI prompting to make sure your brain doesn't stay locked in a digital grid. And we're also going to look at that specific blue light impact on your mitochondria and how to fix those with using tools that our ancestors used as well. So to everyone else, I want you to take one big psychological sigh with me now. Inhale deep through your nose. Another tiny sip at the top. And a long, slow sighing exhale out through your mouth. Did you feel that? That is power. That's your sovereignty, and that is your start of your sacred system. All right, I'll see you guys in the extended video inside school. And for now, stay safe, stay healthy, smiley. Until next time. Bye for now.